it's hats off to them for finding a guy in AAA that can come and give us two pretty good outings so far. And looks like he's a lot to work with, and great kid and competitor. And it seems like, once again, they strike again. Matt Arnold and his posse.
Matt Arnold and the posse. Priester. Brewers get themselves a win last night. Snap the losing streak. Nice. Rhys Hoskins busts out. Well, I mean, that ball he crushed last night over the left field wall. That wasn't even the wall. That was like up into the what is it, Associated Bank deck or something like that. That was way the hell out last night. And the Brewers snapped the 3-game losing streak. Welcome in to the program, all of you joining us today, whether you're listening to us over the air, you're listening to us on the streams, or welcome in to everybody via the cheap seats. We're glad to have you on board today. Today, we got a good day today. Got a good day. We have got, we're going to talk with Mike Renner, and Mike is with CBS Sports, and we're going to talk with him a little bit about the NFL draft. Sam Bruchhaus is going to join us from Sumer Sports, and Sam is going to talk to us about the NFL draft. We're going to get into some analyzation. And then, in the last hour of the program today, the president of the Green Bay Packers, the man that orchestrated the NFL to come to Green Bay for the NFL Draft 2025, and the last hurrah, so to speak, outgoing president Mark Murphy is going to join us today. So we are loaded today. So stay right where you're at. Don't go anywhere. Don't choose to do anything else. And if you have any questions regarding Brewers baseball, their win last night, Packers football, and also the NFL draft, we got it all coming up. All coming up today, top to bottom. We got it covered. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. If you want to find us, that is the way to do so. We certainly appreciate it. 608-321-1670. You want to text? You can't call in? That's fine. Text us, 608-321-1670. You can watch the program and subscribe for free simply by going to YouTube. Go to youtube.com. That is youtube.com/Bill Michaels Show. Michaels, Bill Michaels Show. And you can subscribe there absolutely free. We appreciate it when you do. You can find us on Twitter, on X, at Bill_Michaels. At Bill_Michaels. You can find Grant Bills at Wisco Grant, WISCO at Wisco Grant. You can track us down on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And certainly all you got to do is search us by going to the Bill Michaels Show, or a combination of those words thereof. We're on the Twitch app, on the Kick app, on the LinkedIn app as well. You can email the program, Bill Michaels at gmail.com. TheBillMichaels.com is the website. App, WOZN, The Zone Madison. The Zone Madison, that is the app out of our flagship station out in Madison, Wisconsin, that projects us all over the great state. Then we've got Spotify, Apple, iTunes, Google Podcast after the fact. And then on My 24 TV, you can always find us over there in the Milwaukee area. And the TV show is at 8 o'clock Central Time every Saturday night. There you have it. Grant Bills, we're loaded today, man. How you doing?
Yeah, it's kind of the inverse of yesterday's show, right? Like yesterday we had our Brewers and our Bucks guy on, and then we filled the rest of the show with football. And today all of our guests are football, and we'll probably fill the rest of the show with everything
with
else.
Stuff.
With all of the other little random things. Right. So I had Sam Bruchhaus on. Was he on with you at the Combine? I know he was on with you at the Super Bowl.
He came on with us both at the Combine and the Super Bowl.
He was on with me last night to talk draft, and he has some awesome suggestions. Like he has a strong opinion of what the Packers should and shouldn't do in the early 20s. So I love talking with him last night. So I'm interested both for him and Renner. I love expert analysis on the draft because I got my book here, right? And you know a lot of these names, but some of these people, they're just like machines with names and arm lengths and all this stuff.
I love the outside perspective because we get kind of caught up at times as to what we see and don't see. And we can arrogantly think that we know more than others when others maybe study it and look at it and have a different, 10,000 foot helicopter view of it and go, wait a minute, you might want something like this. Because I all along, which is why my opinion got skewed last week when I talked to Eric Branchek and Pete Doherty of the Green Bay Press Gazette, when they started talking about inside defensive linemen, saying, look, if you can press on the inside, plus stuff the run and take away cutback lanes, it makes your outside guys that much better. So I'm kind of like, okay, I started thinking in that direction. I still want a wide receiver, but I think that there's some opinions out there that can sway me in different directions, and which is kind of which is what I love. I love somebody's going to make me think. And I love that. Or I can take something away to say, okay, I didn't know that before. So this is a different perspective. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Both those guys, Mike Renner today, Bruchhaus is going to be here. And then obviously the orchestrator, basically, of the NFL draft coming to Green Bay, Mark Murphy. And I had a chance to see Mark. You just saw him, right? Did you get a chance to sit down and talk with him for a little bit off mic?
I talked with him for maybe 30 seconds. I just kind of wanted a picture with him. You know what I mean? I said,
right.
Thanks for coming to lacrosse. This means the world to a lot of people. And, the Packers contributed $25,000. They just brought a check with him for the Hunger Task Force. So I said, thank you for that. But I didn't talk with him much more than that. I didn't want to bother him.
Yeah, I saw him for a couple of minutes, chatted with him. And Mark's always been good, going way back to the days that I was even, doing the network stuff. And he's always been, he's always made it a point to come over and say hello. He's always made it a point to say, hey, how you doing? What you got going on? And all that kind of stuff. I just didn't get it because I sat down with Lucas Van Ness. I didn't get a chance to go back to talk to Mark. I also talked to Amon Green for a little bit, but I didn't get a chance to go back and sit down and talk with Mark. So I'm really interested. I mean, he knew he was coming on. When I said, hey, when he saw my face, he said, yeah, I'm going to come on the show. I said, okay, great. Because I knew that
he didn't even wait for you to ask. He said,
right.
Yeah, I'll do it.
It was almost like he knew that he's got people and I don't have people. I just got me, and I was texting back and forth. So he knew he was coming on, and he said, you know what, I'm going to try to come on before the draft. And I said, okay, great. And what I was kind of hoping for was that he'd come over to Burkle's next week. Like he'd just show up, like say, hey, I owe you this. Come on, I'm going to come on over. Like he just come and sit down with us. That'd be kind of cool.
He might.
He still might.
The mood might strike him.
He still might.
He's very much an everyman. He might just decide he wants a drink.
Yeah, he still might. He could come over and hang out with us for a little while. Maybe he just comes over to see Kate. Kate will be there on Thursday. Maybe he just comes to see her. But he's like, yeah, I'm going to make it. And then out of the blue last night, was doing some work and bing, I'm like, oh, who's this? And I look at it, it's going to join you tomorrow. I said, okay, great. This is fantastic. So Mark Murphy, president of the Green Bay Packers, going to join us today. Mike Renner of CBS Sports coming up bottom of the hour. And then bottom of the next hour, about an hour and a half from right now, that's when Sam Bruchhaus is going to join us from Sumer Sports. And we're all going to be talking a lot of draft coming up today on the program. If you want to send them to me, I can't get to everything, okay? But I've already, when I put it up this morning that, Mark's coming on, I already had, people saying, can you ask him this? Can you ask him that? And I'll try to ask some of those questions in that line of thinking. But some of the stuff is just like completely off the wall. So what I want to know, and every now and then I'll post something. I'll get somebody today said, oh, God, can't wait till somebody new takes over. And my question was, why? And nobody gives me a legitimate answer. I said, give me an educated answer. I said, I'm literally looking forward to your educated answer. And because I said, well, why would you say that? And then they say, well, he was great with the business. And I'm like, right, that's his job. But he didn't do anything about the football side. But yet when I say, well, wait a minute. Now, who do you feel is the best? And people go, well, that was Bob Harlan. And I said, well, why was Bob Harlan so good at the football side? Well, because he brought in Ron Wolf and hired Mike Holmgren. Okay. But Bob's advice was, and I'll never forget this, for those that hold Bob, and you should, because if it wasn't for Bob Harlan, there wouldn't be the Green Bay Packers anymore. I firmly believe that. They'd be somewhere else. So in doing what he did, Bob said to me 1,000 times, and then said it to Mark Murphy when Mark took over, probably 50 times. Let football people do football things. Stay out of the way. You worry about the business. Let them worry about football until you can't not worry about football. 1,000 times. So, well, Mark needed to be more involved. Things were going wrong. Mark needed to fix this. Mark needed to do that. That's why Bob Harlan was so great. No, you have it completely ass backwards, dude. Seriously. Bob said all the time, stay out of the way of people that do football. Because Bob was like, I don't know a ton about the personnel of football, but all I can do is hire good people. That's it. So that's what Bob did. And Bob had to make changes throughout the years, obviously. And Ron Wolf had to make changes throughout the years, obviously. But so when I get to Mark, I say, well, is the team not one of the strongest financial teams in the National Football League now? They're always in the top half. Well, yeah. And they're doing it with less. That's the most amazing thing about it. And you don't realize that. If you've ever been to AT&T Stadium, if you've ever been to Gillette, if you've ever been to some, go out where the Rams and the Chargers play. Holy mackerel. And you look at the properties around there and the parking and everything they have and the cities they have around there and the property they bought around there and the money they're making off of those teams. Those teams they're printing money. And the Packers can do the same. They can print money, but they don't have that. They have Titletown and some additional property where they can make a little bit more money. That's it. That's it. So they live off of the fan. They live off the stock. They live off the people that want to buy the marketing side of things and all the memorabilia and the jerseys and the hats and helmets and everything else that goes along with it. That's what they live off of. And they do it extremely well. If you put this team in Dallas, by far, it's outdoing the Cowboys by far. By far. You put it in a big city with this kind of culture and this kind of fan base, by far. Blows everybody in the National Football League away, hands down. But they do it in the smallest media market and the smallest market in all of professional sports. And the business side of that, what Mark Murphy did was take what Bob Harlan started and ran with it. And now you don't have to worry about this team leaving Green Bay for a long time to come. That's it. That's what he was supposed to do. And oh, by the way, they've had some success. Could they have had more? Sure, they could have. But that's more GM and financial side of things than it is Mark Murphy pulling the strings. And you just don't get that. So when I say things like that, I always wonder, because there's always this skewed opinion like Mark was over at Hinterland eating a pizza and not paying attention to free agency or something. Like Mark was supposed to be perusing the free agent market and the wire and hiring somebody or bringing, it never made sense to me. I mean, have there been missteps along the way? I'm sure there probably have been. Not major ones and not ones that we would specifically know about and you can point to, But I always find it amazing how short-sighted some people are. And they get mad and they have no reason to be mad other than to be mad. I'm mad. They should have won more. Okay, I can agree with you on that. It's not like they weren't trying. Well, they're only happy being in the postseason. They're only happy getting there. No, they're not. The amount of money you make when you win a Super Bowl far outweighs the money that you would have either spent to get there, because everybody has to play under the same parameters. It's not like baseball. It's not like the Brewers ignored third base. I mean, the Packers have a certain amount of money. You got to understand the financial situation and you move on. I always find it fascinating. And then when you start to talk to people, then it's like, well, you've proven them wrong. But then they were, well, still, I don't like it. I don't like it. Oh, so in other words, you're pissed to be pissed. You're just an angry, grumpy sack of crap is what you are. Okay. At least admit it. Okay. I'm with you. I can understand that. Woke up on the wrong side of the bed today. Get it. Bad mood today. Get it. Something going on in the personal life. Get it. Woke up today, accidentally dropped a whole bunch of sandpaper right in your underwear. Get it. No problem. But sometimes, man, I don't get it. Don't get it at all. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. You want to find us, please feel free. Go ahead and do so. 877-867-1670. You can find us there. And certainly appreciate you hanging out with us. That's for sure. Let's do this. We'll step out. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. And coming up bottom of the hour, Mike Renner is going to join us. We're going to take calls today. Going to get your thoughts on a lot of this stuff. Don't go. Oh, by the way, don't go anywhere. Got more coming up. But by the way, I got an email this morning. Hey, Bill. Hey, when did they close down registration for the golf outing? They have. It's been closed for a while. I've been telling you to sign up. And if you didn't, we're oversold now. And they're not taking any more. Like the phone calls, they're just going to say, sorry about your luck. Talk to you next year. The third annual Bill Michaels Open coming up Saturday, May 10th of this year. Sold out. Better luck next year. I don't want to say I told you so, but I kind of told you so, But it's great. And to everybody that signed up and the extras that signed up and such, it's awesome. We certainly appreciate you hanging out with us and coming out and playing golf and just enjoying the day. And we look to have another great day and a lot of fun along with it. Share some stories, really good food from our friends at Kickapoo Corners. Really looking forward to heading out to Viroqua Golf Course, Viroqua Hills. Beautiful out there. If you've never played it, it's a hidden gem in the state of Wisconsin. Just make a trip. Either make a day trip out of it or stay overnight. Go out, play a little golf, go into town, go down Norwegian Hollow, something like that. Go over to Gasser's, go over to Twisted Hickory up in town, the wine and bourbon bar over there. They got some good food too. Just all kinds of good places. Good restaurants in the area. Kickapoo Creekside's fantastic. Stop in, just experience everything it has to offer. Make a day out of it. And then go play a little bit of golf at one of the top 50 courses by NBC in the country when it comes to public courses like this. So there you go. That's our friends at Viroqua Hills Golf Course. Sold out for the third annual Bill Michaels Open. More of the Bill Michaels Show coming up next.
Covering Wisconsin sports like a blanket. This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes.